So I recently got this Vive XR Elite for over half off because a lot of people bought it and then they weren't happy with how it was, understandably, and they returned it. Well, now we've just had a new update. The beta for the Vive Desk app has gone live, and you can get on the beta if you're on the Discord. I'll provide a link to Vive's blog post where at the bottom they have how to get into the beta. So up until now, you've had Steam VR or you've had Virtual Desktop, which Virtual Desktop required you to pay like $20. And I'm not going to break out $20. I'm already buying this as cheap as I can. And so I've just been using Steam VR's desktop shower. But because Steam VR isn't meant for that, you can't click on the X or a lot of things that would take administrative access on a window. So you don't actually get full control over the system. So with this, you get up to 3 monitors that are actually all virtual. Previously, I had to get little HDMI dummy plugs that I would plug into the graphics card of my computer. And so with my Rift S, I could trick the computer into thinking there's 3 monitors, and then I can have those 3 monitors relayed onto the headset. Well, with this, they figured out a way to make their own virtual display drivers, so you don't even need to buy dummy plugs for it. You can just install the app. Now, installing the app can be a little bit hard because the Vive streaming software, it seems to get a little hung up on itself a few times. So if you just keep doing it a couple times, it took me like 3 times of just like, okay, it errored out, close it down, not the system, just close down the app and then reopen the app and tell it to update again. And it seems to get through it. So it's just something that I've noticed has happened to me and a few other people, but you just let it do its thing and it'll get through. And then also you have to go into default tracking mode. You can't be having your headset in instant tracking mode. But whenever you get in, you are presented with a rather cool setup tutorial that I've never seen before. It has all these cool triangles that you use to scan your room, and it actually makes a pretty good scan. You can put windows up, you can put your desk down, you can put the couch, and unfortunately the lighting in my living room changes a bit too much, and so it seems to lose the tracking. So I just click through it, and I put my desk down. But one of the main issues with this is that as of yet, I don't believe there is a virtual keyboard, and they're more of wanting it as a way for you to sit at your desk and have multiple monitors. So you have your keyboard handy, but I'm using it for gaming, and so the keyboard's not immediately handy. So I would like to have a few ways to enter in stuff, that should come. And if you join the beta, you can ask that stuff, because we are now in that position where what we want, we can ask for. And we have a way to guide the developers, which is kind of amazing. I have run into little small issues, but again, they're just little issues that honestly are part of the beta. Overall, the video is very clear, and they seem to prioritize clarity over frame rate. So the frame rate seems to be about 50 FPS. Now granted, that's just on my normal 5G Wi-Fi network from like 2017. It just happens to be, I can't mirror, just right there. And because I'm so close, I can get about 110 megabits per second connection. I don't need to get Wi-Fi 6E. I just have that. And then I have my computer with a cable running around the room, and my computer's over there. So I'm really pleased with how this is so far. And even though I have a bit of a headache today, I've had a headache and just like a stuffiness, not a stuffiness, but a pressure in my head for the past 3 days. And so I wouldn't normally be doing VR right now. I haven't had any issues with the VR. I've just had an issue because I've just been having this pressure in my head from weather and such, because it's been storming and such a lot. So I just pressed the power button on my VR headset, and now I will join you in the headset's recording. So one immediate issue I have is I used to have it in immediate mode, and it always puts this way back there for some reason, but whatever. Oh, do I not have it on? Oh, right. There's another issue. Whenever you have Virtual Desk on, it sometimes messes up the mouse tracking speed. Okay, so now once you get the code entered in from the beta site and stuff like that, you will see Vive Desk open up on your system. Now, it's going to get stuck right here. Because I forgot one thing. It does not like this secondary monitor. In the beta testing PDF, it talks about how if you have a laptop, you do not want to have a secondary monitor. I'll just leave that on. But with my computer, it also has an issue with it. So we might wait for this timeout. Okay. Vive Desk timed out. Okay. I guess I should have removed that monitor before I... There. Okay, we're just restarting that. There we go. So, here's the setup that I had it to previously, because I had it like this, and I had a video over here. Now look at that. That is pretty cool, not bad for free. I presume this is going to be a free app. By the way, it's free for now. You can just drag this stuff across the screen. So that was the Vive documentation. So, oh, controller battery is low. Oh well, it'll have to do. If your PC is using an NVIDIA graphics card, open the NVIDIA control panel, and under 3D settings, click Manage 3D Settings, and Global Settings tab, look for Preferred Graphics Processors, and then set it to Auto Select. I did not have that setting. For me, what fixed it was the laptop setting. Okay. Now, this little teeny thing right here, this is the hidden little settings tab. So I'm actually going to go down to displays. Unfortunately, the UI audio is still a little bit too loud. I think you guys will notice that. It's just too, it sounds quite crunchy. So I always go back and forth on this. Optimize display, auto setup monitor display scale. So it does work out better to do that. And to be honest, you only, like, this resolution is, oh, I think like, well, let's see. Let's get my game controller. No. Oh, was it detecting my hands? It was detecting my hands for a little bit, but oh well. Oh, this is another issue I've had. Where when I have Final Fantasy running, if I look directly at the game, it really doesn't like running. And you can also tell that they... Oh, there we go. There we go. There's the, Oh, interesting. So that brings up the menu. Okay. So holding that down brings up the menu. Okay, this tracking has improved a lot. So I think if I remember right, you go like that. Yeah, and then that brings up the little menu. Well, that's pretty cool. I actually haven't played with that yet. So we do have a bit of a delay, and sometimes if I look in a particular direction, it will freeze this screen. But okay, and then oh wow, look at that. Oh, I guess you just tap it, huh? It's kind of neat. Okay. Oh, that's so weird. The delay is a little bit, but oh well. I also have this running in low power mode, so this headset's going to be a little bit slow. But you have ultra wide right here. You have multi-screen, which is what I'm using, and then you have single monitor. So single monitor, it will display on your actual physical screen, but then multi-screen, that's where it adds the two screens, which actually, if I go down here, it resets it back to the original view. And I'm not a huge fan of 3 screens. I don't know what I'm going to do with that one, so I always just minimize, and then like that. Because that's honestly what I've gotten used to. Well, let's see if we can get hand tracking back again. Okay. It's kind of cool. It's like that's an interesting animation. And I like how they just went with a white outline for the hand. Because it's a little bit weird whenever they just have like a pure white hand or something where it's like, okay, this is obviously made for whoever programmed it, but it doesn't reflect whoever uses it. Okay, so then, I've never used this feature before. So we have dim mode, which dims everything. And then we have, so everything should redefine to whatever size the windows are, because we have optimized display on. That's interesting. So there is a bit of a delay. I wouldn't use it just yet for video gaming. Let's see the difference. Now, granted, this is a productivity app. It's meant for productivity. And so I can definitely see this working for spreadsheets and such. It seems to have an issue with... Ooh, the hand tracking all of a sudden is really fluid. It seems to have an issue with Final Fantasy XIV. So it does seem to be optimized for... it actually is holding my hand tracking pretty well. It's just scaled a bit wrong, is all. But that's fine. I can very easily ignore my actual hand and just feel where the hand thinks it is, or where it thinks the hand is. And that's pretty good. In fact, let's turn off the pass-through. Yeah, so if I don't see my hand in the pass-through, actually... I actually feel like... Yeah, I can start to think this is where my hand is. Okay, that's not too bad. Oh. Oh, well now it's like there's no latency. Yeah, there's like no latency. Okay, so it's the pass-through. That's unfortunate. If I could have a different kind of thing back here, that'd be great. Because then I could have, if I could have like a Tron Legacy type, type world, that'd be great. Let's see about how the motion controls work. Oh, I didn't quite get it. Oh, well, whatever.
When I was working on BZR, stat isn't free.
This is a video called NTFS Really Isn't That Bad by Robert Collins.
I'm going to pop back for a second actually.
Interesting.
Yes, so the number I wanted to mention here that I skipped over,
it's doing that thing
that was
again.
20,000
When I look at
stats that we saved. It adds up.
It's an issue I've noticed quite a
Then
bit.
I started looking for other ways.
You know, I think maybe it has to do whenever it's playing video. Let's go to 360p.
Wins without kind of tackling the really big elephant that is going to come along later. There's I/O contention that I could measure because we were reading from a tar file on disk,
Oh, yeah,
and then we were
so-
going and writing a bunch of files out, and then we were reading from a tar file on
See, I'm
disk and we
trying
were writing a bunch of files
to
out.
see.
We ended up with I/O contention.
Yeah, so if I'm
I'm
playing too
sorry
big a
about this
video
huge wall
here,
of text. I actually
it
skipped about
freezes
half of
this,
the commit
this
message to
screen.
do this.
But that's
But
fine.
did I manage to get it in here? Is it going to let me?
Oh, that's kind of neat. And here's a blog post about. Here's a blog post that you should go to if you want to get your XR Elite on this. Yes, again. There we go. Okay, so I can't quite control it. Let's see. No. The hand tracking I have to be worked on. Yeah, that's where you go if you want to join the Vive Discord beta in the server. Oh, and then we're running at a resolution of... Oh gosh, it's doing that thing again. 1280 by 791. So that's if you have the automatic display size on. Come on. So if you have the optimized display size, if you turn that off, this will go to the 1080p size that... So the 1080p size that the display is telling it to be. Ooh, 29 FPS. Why are you 29 FPS? Hold on, man. Display settings. Oh wow, so that's quite a few displays. Display 1. That's interesting, that. Okay, let's see how this looks. 60 FPS now. Oh, it's doing that thing where when I look at it... Or when I get too close, maybe? Oh yeah, when it takes up too much of the screen, it freezes. Well, that's a bit unfortunate. I don't know why it freezes. It has something to do with video processing. But yeah, that's much better. That's much better frame rate. Way better frame rate. So what I had said earlier about them truncating frame rate to improve clarity, well, it seems like it's more of just the settings that the monitor makes. So I would like to see that go to 60 FPS if possible, by default. With this being just a beta, I'm pretty happy. Oh, standing in the shade of that. Okay. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Oh. Oh, it teleports it over to here, so... Okay, whatever. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching. See ya. There we go. I'm gonna... Oh, you have to face towards yourself. Okay, and then I can turn it off from here.